Train Your Mind and Change Your Brain by Sharon Begley. Now, this is a book at the frontiers of science right now, frontiers of neuroplasticity, and it's really asking this question: can you literally use your mind? Can you train your mind and physically change your brain? So we're going to talk about how to literally do that, how to physically change your brain, how to upgrade your brain, and we're going to endeavor to answer two big questions: how to rewire your brain so that you are more energized, enthusiastic, on purpose, in control. And that usually happens when you have more left prefrontal activation in your brain. And we're going to also talk about how to rewire your brain so that you're not negative, victim mindset, disappointed, dejected, because all of that comes from more right prefrontal activation in the brain. And you can literally program your brain. You can rewire your brain so that you have more left prefrontal activation rather than right prefrontal activation. The next question we're going to answer is, can we physically change our brain so that we have more better memory, better focus, and better processing speeds? Okay, so let's talk about those. And before we get into that, let's talk about the idea: is the brain literally hardwired? Now, the brain has over 100 billion neurons and over 100 trillion connections between these neurons. But the truth about the brain is that the brain can change just by our mere thought patterns. Just thinking about playing the piano will lead you to physical changes in your motor cortex. So the brain is changing. The brain is constantly changing, and that's the game of neuroplasticity, because what it's really telling us is the brain is changing throughout our lives as a result of our environment and as a result of our experiences. It is changing as a result of the lives we are living every given moment. And here's the thing: when we have to have what is called self-directed neuroplasticity, as in we want to force a change on ourselves, that will only happen when the mind is in a state of attention and focus. So realize that attention is required for neuroplasticity. Attention training is the gateway to neuroplasticity in some ways. So now that we know, let's talk about how to rewire the brain to be more energized, enthusiastic, and in control. Here's the thing. So let's first talk about the guy who's doing this research, Dr. Richard Davidson, who's the founder of Center for Healthy Minds at University of Wisconsin. And you can click on the link in this mind map to go to his website. And Time Magazine named Davidson as one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2006. So his research is really cutting edge. Now let's talk a little more about what is this difference between the left and the right prefrontal activation. So Davidson, the guy we just talked about, has published over 50 research papers on the asymmetry in the left and right prefrontal activity. And what he has found out is that high left prefrontal activation leads us to be more energized, alert, enthusiastic, joyous, enjoying life. We feel like life is under control, and we experience personal growth, and we feel like we're living on purpose. On the other hand, people who have higher right prefrontal activation, they experience more negative emotions. They're discontent with everything. They rarely feel joy. They feel like they're not in control. They feel like they're victims. And they feel like they're constantly disappointed. And if there's too much activity in the right prefrontal, then there's higher likelihood of depression. So realize we have to have more left prefrontal activation if we want to be more energized, enthusiastic, joyous, and if we want to enjoy life. Now, how do we do that? How do we get to have more left prefrontal activation? How do we rewire our brain for that? So what Davidson did was research people who were meditating versus non-meditators, and he hooked them up to an EEG with 256 electrodes, those funny looking electrodes that are attached to a piece of, I think, plastic that is stuck on your brain to study all the brain activity. And these test subjects, meditators and non-meditators, were asked to alternate between different mental states. For meditators, they could go into meditation state, neutral state, and other states. What they found out was that during meditation, for meditators, the left asymmetry was off the charts, almost 99.7% higher than the control group who did not meditate. So the meditators had a huge increase in activity in the left prefrontal cortex, right? So what we're actually seeing is that meditation is leading to having higher left prefrontal activity region in the brain, higher activity in the left prefrontal cortex, prefrontal regions of the brain. And what meditation, which is a sort of mental training, is altering the brain's emotional circuitry. The more left prefrontal region activity we have, the higher chance of us being more enthusiastic and positive rather than negative, right? So we are literally training our brains to be energized, enthusiastic, on purpose, in control, and that's all happening during meditation as a result of meditation. So meditation is regulating the activities in our brain. That's the key here. Okay, so as you can see, this is really crucial. Meditation is really rewiring our brain to be more energized, enthusiastic, and in control. Now let's talk about the other big idea, which is how to have better memory, focus, and processing speeds. Now, before we go into that, let's first understand the importance of gamma activity and gamma states in our brain. Now, gamma brain waves are somewhere in the 25 to 100 hertz region, and in human beings, they are usually around the 40 hertz region. Now, what happens is when we have increased gamma activity, there is increased memory recall, because the 40 hertz frequency is known to regulate memory processing. So people who have high gamma activity have exceptionally vivid and rapid memory recall. They have increased focus. When you have high gamma activity, you have increased focus. You have better brain processing speeds, better information processing speeds. So the brain is able to process a lot of information very quickly and remember and retrieve it from memory and all those things. And not only that, having high gamma activity is like a natural antidepressant. And people who are high achievers in all sorts of fields produce a lot more gamma waves than average. So as you can see, high gamma activity is really powerful. It's really crucial for us to have better memory, focus, and processing speeds. So Davidson did another study, and this was study on long-term meditators. And what he found, again, he hooked up EEG, these 256 electrodes on people's scalps. The meditators were asked to switch mental state from normal to meditation. What they noticed was an increase in gamma wave, the gamma state that was larger than had ever been reported in neuroscience, the kind that had never been seen in neuroscience literature before. So most of the long-term meditators showed very large increases in gamma waves during meditation, and gamma wave activity continued on even during non-meditation periods for these long-term meditators. So it is here's the thing, for non-meditators, gamma activity might be as long as half a second long. But for long-term meditators, for adept meditation practitioners, it lasted as much as 5 minutes long, which is 300 seconds, almost 600 times longer than half a second long. So amazing change in gamma state and gamma activity in the brains of long-term meditators. And what was fascinating was that even when these people were not meditating, after meditation was done, there were still large increases in gamma waves compared to non-meditators. So as you can see, what Davidson was finding out was that long-term meditators have a very high gamma activity and gamma states, and hence they have better memory, better focus, and better processing speeds. And not only that, he says the more you meditate, the more lifetime hours of practice a meditator has had, the more enduring the gamma signal is going to be. So if you're interested in learning how to meditate, I have a very simple free guided meditation audio, actually the kind that a lot of these practitioners were using at the time, very similar to that. And you can download that free guided meditation audio right here by clicking on the I button, or go to 2000books.com/meditate, and the link is already in the description below. So here, let me just conclude this whole book in some ways for you. Here's the thing: meditation can alter the brain and also the mind in enduring ways. And because what it's doing, it's shifting activity for us from the right prefrontal cortex to left prefrontal cortex, from the negative part to the positive part in some ways. Not only that, it increases gamma wave activity even when we're not meditating. And another thing it does is meditation strengthens the connection between different parts of our brain, especially the thoughtful prefrontal lobes and the fear and anxiety generating amygdala. Because once you have that strengthened connection, you are much more able to better control the fear and anxiety generating amygdala. So that is really crucial as well. So here's what Davidson, the preeminent researcher on neuroplasticity, here's what he had to say. He said, the trained mind or brain is physically different from the untrained mind, from the untrained brain. And he compares meditation to working out your body. And he says, for some reason in our in this world today, training is seen as really important for physical strength, but somehow we don't believe we feel the need to work out our minds, right? So it's really crucial to work out our minds, and meditation is the ultimate strategy for doing that. So if you want to learn to meditate, download my free guided meditation course, audio plus the course. It's available at 2000books.com/meditate, or click on this I button here in the top right corner, or find the link in the description below as well. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's a lot of interesting new neuroscience that's coming up that's showing the power of how our brain can be changed as a result of our thoughts, and the best workout for our brains is still meditation.